Hey everybody, it's me, Steve SCHNEE, the CD Junkie, and I'm back with another episode of That's Pop Power. Got a lot of great things to talk about right now. We're going to start off with a collection by Shoes. The only reason I show this is because I've already talked about their box sets in like the last couple of videos. So I just want to show something else. Like if you don't want to invest a whole lot of money into the two existing box sets, but you want to know what they sound like, this is a great collection to get. It's on Real Gone Music. And it has tracks from all of their albums, and it's really absolutely fabulous. In fact, the tracks from these albums here are not included on those box sets that are available now. So you may want to check that out just to check out the band. Great, just melodic power pop, guitar pop, jangle, beautiful heavenly harmonies, great melodies. Shoes. We're sticking with the S's for now. The Sinceeros, Pet Rock. If you like squeeze type stuff, then you're definitely going to want to check out the Sinceeros. This second album here is very squeeze-like. And in fact, Don Snow here, after Sinceeros broke up, Don went and he joined Squeeze for the Sweets from a Stranger album and tour. And then again, there's Bobby Irwin there, who joined Nick Lowe's band. So lots of great stuff there. Now let's go to a life-changing album for me. You know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about The Last LA Explosion. This is the album that introduced me to the world of indie rock way back in 1979. And boy, when they did that, they opened up a world to me. And this album is so full of great goodness. I've talked about it so many times, so I won't go into it now. But if you check out my podcast, if you check out any of my other videos, and I talk about The Last, I just goo goo gaga over this. So Last LA Explosion, you need to check that out. Here's something brand new that came out, but it's from 1980. The Distractions, Nobody's Perfect. This is absolutely fabulous British guitar pop. They were from Manchester. Their album came out in 1980, but they had a couple singles that came out in 78, 79, and this compiles all of it. Every studio release, plus 4 unreleased demos, and an entire remix of this album. So not only do you get the original mix of this album digitally remastered, you get a brand new mix of this album digitally remastered. This is stellar. It's brand new on the market right now for 2020. Watch out for my Beach Blanket Fort Bingo podcast, because I do an interview with guitarist Steve Perrin. I'm working on editing that now. Here's a great modern Beach Boys influenced album, sort of somewhere between, let's say, Beach Boys and Elliott Smith. It's Frederick Julius, and this is called Fixers and Elixirs, and this is jam-packed full of great songs. You need to check this out. This was in my top 10 of 2019, and it's fabulous. One of my favorite albums of all time, again, is the Lambrettas, Beat Boys in the Jet Age. This is just the regular CD version. There is a 2 CD version that contains this album, plus their second album, and all the bonus B-sides and stuff. This is a regular disc here that contains bonus tracks. This is wonderful. The songs, the melodies, everything about it is just absolutely wonderful. Every time I listen to this, it takes me right back to that 17-year-old kid filled with amazement and wonder with his headphones on, listening to this great, fantastic music. It still moves me today, and it's just wonderful. What about the Bye Blackbirds? They have a brand new album out. It is called Boxer at Rest, and it is filled jam-packed with some great guitar pop. There's psychedelia. There's great indie pop. This is intelligent indie rock created by people who love music for people who love music. So the Bye Blackbirds, Boxer at Rest, brand spanking new album. And of course, you've seen that album there probably in every episode for the last couple years. You've also seen it here. You also see it here. And you also see it here. That's all I have to say. Well, not really. I'll say a little bit more. Romantic's first album, absolutely fabulous, beginning to end. What I Like About You, When I Look in Your Eyes, Tell It to Carrie, just absolutely fabulous album. But I think a lot of you already know that. But did you know that the Franken Walters are a great Irish trio filled with great songs, a great sense of humor, and really creative lyrics, and I love them to death. This album here is jam-packed with like Fashion Crisis Hits New York, This Is Not a Song, After All, just great melodic pop. Came out during the Britpop era, and they sort of got lost. They did have a cult audience over here who supported them, and I think the band actually had toured here a few times, and they've released albums over the years, and they might even still be around. I'm not 100% sure, but if you can't find this album, which is called Trains, Boats, and Planes, you can try to find the Franken Walters, the self-titled album, which is a best of, which I believe includes the 3 songs I said before and stuff from their later albums as well. And that's fabulous. And you know what? I thought I had a 2 CD set by this band, and I could not find it, so I decided to pull out the 2 CD best ofs. And that is the Jet Set Best of and Best of 2. As you can tell, the image is sort of inspired by the Monkees and the Beatles, and the music is right in there between. I sort of describe them as a like a groovy swinging 60s band transported smack dab into the middle of the 80s. They were completely out of time, but completely awesome. Most of the songs were written by Paul Bevois, and the Jet Set is a great pop band, so definitely check out the Jet Set on any type of compilation that you can get. I'm not a collector of vinyl, but I am a collector of the records. This is my favorite records album, Crashes, and this is the version with bonus tracks. Definitely check that out. One of the great power pop bands of all time. Guitar pop, whatever you want to call it, it's just absolutely fabulous. And speaking of absolutely fabulous, what about this set by the Reubens? Man, this is awesome. 3 CD set. It includes their first 2 Berserkly Records albums, plus bonus tracks, and then a collection of songs recorded in 1980 that was supposed to be set for their 3rd album that was never released, and that has bonus tracks as well. And that's the first album to feature bassist Al Chan. I think it was, 1980, and he's still with the band. He's been with the band for 40 years, and he's still the new kid. Speaking of the new kid, this is a band that didn't have a new kid on it. This is a band called the Tremblers, featuring Peter Noone from Herman's Hermits. That's right, Peter Noone. And this is a great power pop band. It's actually got members of like Tom Petty's band, I think, on there. They do a cover version of Elvis Costello's Green Shirt, which is really kind of fun. And but the songs are definitely power pop. So he was cashing in on that new wave thing. Speaking of Elvis Costello, he's got so many great albums in the early years. This is the one that I decided to pull because I think that it's an absolutely fabulous album filled with great pop tunes. This year's model. I was originally going to pull Get Happy because that's my favorite Elvis Costello album, but I figured that this is really what people would think of when they think of like power pop adjacent type things. But this is the expanded 2 CD edition filled with bonus tracks and unreleased things. And there's Elvis Costello. In my opinion, I own everything Elvis Costello from My Aim Is True, the first album, up through Blood and Chocolate, King of America. Those are the albums I love. I also have Spike, but I don't think I have anything beyond that because I love this era the most. And we're going to close this episode with a CD you can't get anymore, but if you can find it, find it. It is 4 out of 5 Doctors, digitally remastered versions of both of their albums, and each album includes a bonus track. Yes, that's right, digitally remastered versions of both 4 out of 5 Doctors albums on one CD, and it is jam-packed full of great stuff. It isn't power pop, but it is. But it isn't, because it's everything. It's eclectic. There's a song there that could be almost Steely Dan. There's psychedelia in there. There's power pop. There's 60s pop. I mean, they're one of the most eclectic bands, but yet they wrote these wonderful melodies. In fact, Cal Everett, the main singer and the bass player, he wrote a majority of the songs, and he was one of those people that was great at writing a great verse hook, a great bridge hook, a great chorus hook, a great middle 8 hook, and putting them all together. So there's never a wasted moment on the song. So 4 out of 5 Doctors, definitely check that out if you can find it. It is called Reconstruction. And that's it for this episode of That's Pop Power. Please remember to like, comment, share, subscribe. And remember me, I'm Steve SCHNEE, the CD Junkie.